Good morning, dear children. How are all of you today? Dear children, today we are going to discuss a new lesson from your English literature textbook. After the vacation, our online classes started. My doubt or my question is, though we are stuck in pandemic, our classes are going on, we are learning daily. How is it possible? Yes, with the help of technology, right? Physically, we are not able to come to the classroom, we are not able to meet the teachers, we are not able to listen to the teachers, in person. Still, our classes are going on without any obstruction with the help of modern science and technology, right? The gadget that you are using can be a laptop or a mobile or tablet. Helps you with the help of good quality network connectivity. You are able to attend to your classes, right? This is the advancement of modern science and technology, right? But I have a doubt. Is our life dominated by new machineries, new inventions, new gadgets, new equipments? Do you think that? Just look at this picture on the screen. A man is sitting and he is surrounded by various machineries and tools which are used in day-to-day life. Do you think that machines are dominating? Machines have taken over our common life? Machines have taken over, or machines have taken the control of our life? Are we completely depending on the machines for a smooth life, smooth and comfortable life? We need to think about it. We always say proudly that we live in a technologically advanced era. That is true, absolutely true. But are we losing something? Are the machines, taking over our life? Have they become the rulers of our life? Do you feel so? Just think about, just look around you. What are the machines or what are the devices are used in our daily life? A fan which gives you cool air. Right? The light gives you light, warmth, right? Go to the kitchen. Just ask your mom, is life possible for her without a thermal cooker? Is life possible for her without the refrigerator or a washing machine? See, so many machineries. Correct? So don't you think that machines have a very vital role in our life, or machines are dominating our life? Can we think about a life, a world without all these machines and gadgets? One fine morning when we wake up, oh, no machines around us, no fans, no light, no car, no ship, no thermal cooker. Then how life would be? Are we not able to survive without the help and assistance of a machine? Can be a very small machine. It can be a screw, or it can be a pulley, or it can be an enormous machine, a transport machine like a ship. It can be any machine. So isn't life easy for us without a machine? Think about it. And just ask your mom, after this video, just go to the kitchen and ask your mom, Mom, how do you feel if you find the mixer is not working one fine morning? The grinder or the blender is not working. Will it be possible for her to manage her life without a blender or a mixer or a grinder or a thermal cooker? Because we are completely depending on the use of all these machines. Right, dear children? Yes, today here is an interesting poem, The Secret of the Machines, written by Rudyard Kipling. In this poem, it's a lengthy poem which has 8 stanzas. In this poem, the poet talks about the development of machines, how machines are produced out of metal ore, and the role of machines, how they are serving human life, and if machines are overused or if we completely depending on machines, how our life would be. And the poem ends with a beautiful statement that machines are just machines. They don't have any feelings, they cannot think like a human being, they are just a machine. We, the human beings, our brain is more prominent than a machine. Okay, before going to the poem, let me give you the new words given here. See, new words are here. Wrought, W-R-O-U-G-H-T, wrought means shaped by hammering. Metals, after heating, after purified, they are shaped by, beaten by huge hammers, by hammering. That is wrought. Gauged means measured. Crackling. Crackling has another meaning. In this context, crackling means sudden. Damped, blocked. Dear children, today we are going to discuss the importance of machines in our daily life. Here we have the poem The Secret of the Machines, written by Rudyard Kipling, that deals with the problems of modern science and technology. Let's take page number 98, chapter 11, The Secret of the Machines. Dear children, this poem is divided into 8 stanzas, which has 3 main parts. Each part discusses a particular topic. In the first part, in the beginning, the reader gets to know how machines are produced, how machines are formed, and what kind of treatment they need. Afterwards, in the second part, machines describe how they can serve human beings. And the poem ends with the statement that machines, though they are capable of great deeds, are still nothing more than the creations of man's brain. Let me read the first stanza of the poem. All of you look at the book. We were taken from the ore bed and the mine. We were melted in the furnace and the pit. We were cast and wrought and hammered to design. We were cut and filed and tooled and gauged to fit. Some water, coal and oil is all we ask, and 1/1000th of an inch to give us play. And now, if you will set us to our task, we will serve you 24 hours a day. Dear students, in the very first stanza, the poet is talking about how machines are developed. You know the process of the formation of machines? As all of us know, machines are made from metals, heavy metals. And how metals are extracted? Yes. See, metals are extracted from their ore. See, the ores are extracted from mining from ground. These extracted ores are purified. and metals are extracted from the purified ore through heating them in a furnace. Children, furnace is a huge container in which put the purified ores to heat it up to extract metals. These extracted metals are purified. The purified metals are shaped through molding. Either they will be poured into a mold, or they will be hammering. Hammering means purified metals will get shapes by beating them with hammers. Okay, ores are put into the furnace, they will be heated up, these ores will turn into melted form. This melted form of ore will be poured into molds to get various shapes. So it's a long process, it's a very complicated process. This is the way how metals are formed. So in the first stanza, the poet talks about how machines are formed from the metals or the ores which are found in the soil. See, they are cast and they are wrought and they are hammered. Then later on, see, once the metals are formed, they will cut and filed. First they will take the measurement, how much metal they require for a particular machine. They will measure it. Then they will cut and file it. Okay. See, just now we were talking about the formation of machines. The shaped metals are used to make tools and machineries which are very much needed for our daily life. Again, the machines do not require food, right? They ask only for some water, coal or oil. Obviously, machines need oil, right? And they do not need any other food. It takes only a fraction of a thousandth of inch to make them work. Okay, and if we set them on a particular task, these machines will work relentlessly, continuously, without any complaint for 24 hours a day. We can pull and haul and push and lift and drive. We can print and plow and weave and heat and light. We can run and race and swim and fly and dive. We can see and hear and count and read and write. Would you call a friend from half across the world? If you will let us have his name and town and state, you shall see and hear your crackling question heard across the arch of heaven while you wait. Children, the machine can do all sorts of work in life. They can pull, drag, push, lift, drive. They can printing machines, plow. In agricultural field, we use plowing machines, weave, heat and light. See, they can run, fly, race, swim. A lot of activities done by machines for human beings, for ease our life. Right? They can even see, hear, count, read, write, everything for man. These are the main activities done by various machines in our daily life. And as we know, all these tasks were done earlier by human beings. Now, machines have made their work easier. And the poet wants to show us that people can communicate over a really long distance thanks to the machines. Here, the poet refers to telephones or telegrams and all the transport machines like ships. When these machines were invented, it was for the first time possible to communicate over longer distances. Here, the machines directly addressing to the reader as a representative of mankind. Right? And the machines are telling, see, if you want to talk to a friend who is staying half across the world, just you can give his name, town and state. You can hear his voice within a spur of moment. Just dial his number. You will hear his voice within a spur of moment. That is the magical, miraculous inventions of technology and science. Has he answered? Does he need you at his side? You can start this very evening if you choose and take the Western Ocean in the stride of 70,000 horses and some screws. The boat express is waiting your command. You will find the Mauritania at the quay. Till her captain turns the lever beneath his hand and the monstrous 9-decked city goes to sea. If you want to talk to people who are staying very far away from you, you have the facility. Telephones, mobile phones are there to help you. Communication has made more easy and more convenient due to technology. Right? And if you want to meet them, yes, there is also an option. You can rely on any airways or any other means of transportations. You can meet the people whom you want to meet and talk to them, spend some time with them. And if you want to take a stride with your best friend along the shore of the Western Ocean refers to the Atlantic Ocean. That's also possible. Technology helps you a lot. Children, here the poet is talking about the train that carries passengers to seashore and the very large passenger ship that take people to the sea. Here is a reference of a luxury passenger ship. Its name is Mauritania. Mauritania is referred to as the monstrous 9-decked city because in this luxury passenger ship was launched in 1907. At that time, Mauritania was the biggest luxury passenger ship. Hence, it is called monstrous 9-decked city. See, all these inventions are due to the advancement of science, modern science and technology. Right? So, we have from the very simple machine to our enormous machines. Do you wish to make the mountains bare their head and lay their new cut forest at your feet? Do you want to turn a river in its bed or plant a barren wilderness with wheat? Shall we pipe a loaf and bring you water down from the never-failing cisterns of the snows to work the mills and tramways in your town and irrigate your orchards as it flows? It's easy. Give us dynamite and drills. Watch the iron-shouldered rocks lie down and quake as the thirsty desert level floods and fills, and the valley we have dammed becomes a lake. Fifth and sixth stanzas are talking about the relation of the machines to the surroundings. How we can use very big and complicated machines to make changes in our surroundings. Machines can change landscapes. Machines help man to deform the landscape the way they want it to be. For example, they can dry up lakes or they can flood the valleys according to their specific needs. Machines can make the mountains bare. Machines can bring water down from the cisterns, the reservoirs for your town. And machines can work with the mills and tramways in the towns. It can be used to irrigate your orchards. In all these areas, we use machines for irrigation purpose, for getting water from reservoirs, for changing the landscape. Okay, a barren land, an uncultivated land can be reused. We can start cultivating crops like wheat with the help of tools and machines which are used in agricultural field. So these are the various use of machines in life. But remember, please, the law by which we live, we are not built to comprehend a lie. We can neither love nor pity nor forgive. If you make a slip in handling us, you die. We are greater than the peoples or the kings. Be humble as you crawl beneath our rods. Our touch can alter all created things. We are everything on earth except the gods. Though our smoke may hide the heavens from your eyes, it will vanish and the stars will shine again. Because for all our power and weight and size, we are nothing more than children of your brain. Dear children, seventh stanza, machines, they are addressing themselves as we, and they are talking to the readers. Okay, and they are telling that we have to remember the law by which machines live. Machines are capable of doing some actions in their life. You know what are they? They cannot detect a lie. Machines are not built to love or hate its owner or anyone else. Machines are emotionless and have no feelings and can be dangerous if not handled properly. If we make a slight mistake in handling machines, we could even die. See, there is a warning issued by the machines. Actually, machines are talking about their own power. And we must accept the fact that our dependency on machines is increasing day by day. Just imagine a time when people will depend on a machine to wake them up from their bed and then to put them back to sleep, to help them to walk or eat. If this really happens, our life will be different, without love, pity, forgiveness, sympathy. Machines are not perfect creations. They are not miraculous creations. Human brain always excels the machines. Okay, the poem ends with a beautiful message that we should not completely depended on, or our life should not completely depended on machine, the emotionless machines, because they cannot think, they don't feel anything, they are not able to express anything to others. Machines are just machines and we cannot rely on them all the time. If there is a slight mistake happens from our side, it may lead to disasters, dangers. Right? And machines are not at all the perfect creations in this world. Our human beings and our brain, our intelligence is the most wonderful thing in this world. And we should not let machines to rule over our own life. Children, here is the mind map of the lesson, The Secret of the Machines. Basically, the poem talks about the problems of modern technology, and the theme is the importance of machine in human life. First stanza talks about how machines are produced, how metals are extracted, how they are molded up, or how they are hammered to bring the shape of a machine or a tool. Second one, machines explain how they can serve human beings. Machine can do a lot of work, without any break, continuously, without any complaint in human life. They can run, they can read, they can talk, they can write, sometimes they can cook, right, for human beings. Next is, if they are not handled properly, it may lead to disasters. This is the warning given by the poet. Machines are very much useful to human life, for a very comfortable or an easy life. That's absolutely correct. Machines help us a lot in many ways. They can run, they can swim, they can dive, they can drive, they can speak, they can do a lot of things for us. They can facilitate human beings in doing their daily activities. But the warning given in the poem is, if the machines are not used in the right manner, it may lead to dangers and disasters. Because machine doesn't know how to think and act. Yes, machines are emotionless, they are not perfect. They are not like a human being. They don't know how to communicate by themselves. They don't know how to express their own feelings and emotions. As I told you, they don't know how to act as per the requirement of the situation. They are just machines. And bear in mind, all these machines are devised and designed and controlled by human beings. But unfortunately, nowadays, modern life is being taken over or controlled by various machines. So, man has made and designed, man has given life to machines. Now, machine has taken over our life. Okay, this is the contrast. Machines are nothing more than the creation of human brain. So, they are just the creation of human brain. So, who is better? Definitely, human brain, man is better than the machines. We cannot replace human beings with any machines. Children, here is an activity for you. Before doing the activity, just to go through the vocabulary, the new words and their meanings given in the textbook. After reading the meanings, just close the textbook and try to answer to these questions given here. 5 words and their meanings are given here in a jumbled way. You need to match each word with its correct meaning. Okay, children, here are the answers for you. Wrought, shaped by hammering.
Gauged,
Measured. Crackling, here in this context it means sudden. Quay, a platform in a harbour where boats come into loads. Dammed means blocked. Dear children, here is a home assignment for you, which is there on page number 105. Activity. Choose an object or machine that we use often today. Find out when and how it was invented and who did so. Collect enough information that will allow you to make a 2-minute presentation. What you have to do is, you can select an object or a machine that we use in our daily life. Can be a phone or an oven or a printer or a sewing machine, anything. And you just find out, collect information about that particular machine that you have selected. Prepare a speech or a presentation for 2 minutes in the class. In the online session, we will be dedicating some time for your presentation on that particular machine or an object. Till then, After watching this video, as I remind you all the time, please do read the lesson. We will discuss the whole poem in the next interaction session. Till then, be happy, study well, take care, stay blessed.